Darnell, we're at the Ford Center, and it's back-to-back home wins. They had the 2 disappointing one-point losses on the road. Come home, the red-hot Bulls have played really well, spanked them pretty good, out-rebounded them terribly. Now they've got back-to-back wins. They're starting to gain a little momentum. You don't want to get in a shootout with the Warriors, but that's what happened. And guess what? Kevin Durant scores 45, and at least they outshoot them for a win. What were your impressions of the game with Durant getting 45, the third-best game of his career?
Congratulations to Kevin Durant, the season-high 45, like you said. But I think, first of all, they kind of gotten up and down in the Warriors' pace a little bit more than they would have liked to. The good thing is they limited them to 10 fast break points all in the first half, so that was a good sign. They out-rebounded this team, which is the worst rebounding team in the league, coming in 45-31, so those were good signs. But there in the fourth quarter, I thought it really sort of got away from the Thunder, and, they can't be pleased with the way they had to close out this game tonight.
Well, Scott said they only played 8 good minutes of defense, which is always their forte, but at least those 8 minutes in the third quarter helped them build a 15-point lead that almost got away from them. They play this team again Saturday night. What do they take out of this game knowing that 5 nights from now or 6 nights from now they're going to be out in Oakland playing them again? What do you think they need to do better to make sure they get a road win against a team that's been struggling?
They got to play better defense. Especially on the road at Golden State. Like Scott Brooks said, you can't afford to play only 8-9 minutes of defense. There was a stretch in this game where both teams were shooting above 55%. I think the Warriors were at about a 60% at one point. So, you really got to focus on closing out on shooters, not letting them get fast break points and easy attempts and looks at the basket. If they do that, I think they can go out to Golden State when they play them Saturday and get a win.
Well, I know we disagree on this next question, but we had the 4-game road trip, didn't do any of these live broadcasts after games. Then we had the bad weather the other night. They're right in the middle of the playoff race that Barry Trammell's going to write tomorrow. I think they win 45, 46, 47 games. The schedule gets a little easier. Only 1 game left on this homestand against the Atlanta Hawks. They beat the Clippers, Chicago, and San Antonio on the road only to lose to them at home. How big is this game against Atlanta as they are starting to get right back in the 7, 8, 9 spot in the standings?
Well, right now they're all big. Because you look at about 7 teams fighting for those last few playoff spots, and if they start losing games now, you've written about this. That last stretch of the season, those last 14 games against real tough teams, playoff-tested teams. So, that's my question. Is this team ready with 35 games remaining? Is this team ready to take the next step and sort of develop a killer mentality, a killer instinct down the stretch? These teams are going to start coming at them a lot more, and I just don't know if the Thunder right now is ready to is tough enough to withstand what these teams are going to throw at them.
Last one's not an easy one, but Kevin Durant, 45 tonight. His average now is 29.6. He passes LeBron James, who's 29.4. Right in front of him is Carmelo Anthony, 29.7. A lot of basketball being played, but he is definitely in the hunt for a scoring title. Everybody predicted it would happen sometime. Can it happen this year at age 21 now that he's right in the middle of it?
Yes, it definitely can happen this year. I think, the one thing about it is Kevin Durant can no longer tell us that he doesn't have a shot at it. He's right there with 35 games left. All he has to do is continue to score at this pace he's doing now. I think tonight's game was the 20th of 25 or more. He's getting 30 on a consistent basis. If he continues doing that, I think these other teams, LeBron James and the Cavs and Carmelo and the Nuggets, I think they're going to focus a little bit more on defense and trying to stop teams, so that might bode well for Kevin because his team is going to continue to score and get him the ball. LeBron and Melo have other weapons on that team, like LeBron defers to Shaq a little bit to start the game. Kevin is the guy on this team, so I think that's going to help his cause.
I'll wrap it up from the Ford Center. A lot of good stuff. Desmond Mason was in the crowd today. Barry Trammell writes about how fun it is to look at the standings this year. Darnell talks about will they make any key additions before the trading deadline. Sam Preston and I talk about Kevin Durant getting in the scoring race and them winning. You can read all that on newsok.com.